All right, there really needs to be a better fade out of that music. It's not good. But this is from East to West, Amazon AMA. And I'm Michael Marr. I'm the Chief Idea Officer of Cartology. We are an Amazon service agency. We help brands to win on Amazon and kick other brands' asses. And my co-host is Brett Bohannon. He is the founder and a consultant at Vortex. Welcome, Brett. It's good to see you.
Thanks for having me on. Never done these before, so
You're brand new. Well, don't worry. I'll take real good care of you.
Kind of nervous.
Okay. Here,
Yeah.
picture everybody naked, which is just me. Just picture me naked.
Yikes.
Woo! When did we? I was gonna say when we came up with this idea. Were we together somewhere at a show? Huh. Okay. Well,
I don't know.
yeah. I was wondering if we were.
That's a good question. I'm not too sure, but I know it's been going on for quite some time.
Yeah, it's been going on for, I can actually tell you the exact amount of time, but it's been a couple years. And I think we've come to the conclusion that it's amazing.
I came to the conclusion on that after the first one.
Oh, it looks like the very first one was December 8th of 2022. That's crazy. That means it's been almost 3 years.
Wow.
I'm doing this. And what have we to show for it? What do we have to show for it? You know, as we talk about news and answer all the questions that we have, because this is kind of a news update and also just get our opinions and takes on it. You have over a decade of experience on Amazon. I've got 15 years of experience. So combined, we have minimally have 30. And we just talk about our opinions, and I'm not good at math. And we inevitably seem to have, now I feel like every time we go live, some kind of Prime Day that's coming up. Another Prime Day that's coming up. Prime Big Deal Days. And
that just shows how many there are.
It's getting a little out of hand, I think, for sure. We're leaning in with our clients. They're about it. And I think it depends upon the phase and the season that you're in. Here are my just overall thoughts. If you don't have anything, it's not going to, like, if you have very low sales, it's not going to do, I think, a ton for you. If you're growing, I think it's an opportunity to increase sales velocity compared to everyone else. But everything leading up to that and everything going out of it has to be on point. It's not a magic, like, it's not a silver bullet. And then if you're a category leader, I don't think you really need to do too much as long as you are ahead in sales velocity compared to everyone else. I've seen brands where we were number one in the whole category, drop down, to 15 or 20 for several days. And it was like, oh, I don't know. And then we worked our way right back up. So,
yeah, I think it's always good to participate, because now it's just Amazon creating demand for sales.
Yeah,
that's basically what it is they're like, we're going to make up this made up event, and people are going to expect to get deals. So, the more they know about it, the more consumer knows about it, the more likely they'll be like, oh, that's coming up, I'm going to hold off on buying XYZ until that happens. Because most likely it'll be on a slightly deal. So that's my theory. And same thing with Black Friday, Cyber Monday. It's people are now expect deals during that time frame. So it's like, the hallmark.
Do you think there's a chance for stuff
Amazon
to start to fall off though? Like, is there ever a point where the demand creation starts to fall off because we have just created, quote unquote, too much?
Probably.
Tell me when that point is. Now, right now.
I don't know, but it's just like there's always sales for something, like Labor Day sales.
Yeah, that's a good point.
New year, new you. It's like,
do I need a new me? I don't know.
Yeah, it's um, there's always something for brands to discount.
I think you also have to consider every year brands go. I was having a conversation with someone that runs an event community, basically, and we were talking about partnering together today. And I said, my Amazon search history looks different than else's because I'm looking for stuff for my clients. So it wouldn't really make sense. You couldn't like reverse engineer stuff for me. I also get retargeted all the time for the brands that we work with. If we're running our campaigns well, we get retargeted. Like it's just part of it. So in that same sense, brands have a skewed experience of Prime Day. Oh, it's another Prime Day. Oh, it's another Prime Day. Blah 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 blah. Some consumers participate, some don't. What about the ones that haven't participated, or maybe they just became a Prime member, or maybe they haven't participated in a while and so they're going to participate again? What does the economy look like? Are people worried about price
Mhm.
on something that's cheaper? You have to think about that consumer perspective. And to your point, people have been trained to think, oh, when's the next deal coming? I know my wife is a cart squatter. It sounds like a bad word. It's not. Someone who sits on a deal or squats on a deal until it becomes a lot cheaper. She has waited on stuff for a year, and it finally, something that was like $50 dropped to 15. Boom, purchase.
Yeah.
So she
Yeah.
squats on stuff all the time, and it pays off.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned this because Rufus is a big topic right now, and there's been a couple. There's a good amount of individuals that are like, championing, I guess, sort of say Rufus and shouting it from the
Championing
rooftops.
might be an understatement of what people are doing.
But I'm trying to be PC about all this.
Don't be PC. This show is not PC.
But they're saying Rufus is the next thing. Rufus is this and that. And then you get a couple, people in the middle going, I don't know, scratching your head. Let's see the proof. And then you get the people on the other side. And I don't know where everyone falls. Like I'm thinking like a Venn diagram kind of deal. But Bradley Sutton at Helium 10 just did a post about Rufus and a study. And
I commented on it.
Yeah, I commented on it too. And I think we talked about this last time we talked. We were kind of in the boat. Hey, like you should still do your foundations correctly of what's working. And then layer on Rufus, search for your listings of, hey, like go to your listing, see what the prompted questions are, see if an answer comes up. If it doesn't, go back to your listings, optimize it for that. You just add something in so it will work. That prompt question will work. So that's what I commented on it. A couple other individuals commented on it. A guy that I know, Matt Altman, commented on it and basically said he did a research study that shows consumers aren't using Rufus, which is quite interesting because that no one has done that yet. And now he's coming out and basically saying he's paid. There's been a study where people are paid to show how they search on Amazon, and I don't think anyone used Rufus. Now I don't know the numbers.
Using agents to search for them.
No, I think it was like they would record. I don't know the details, but it sounded like they would record people that would regular consumers on how they search and shop on Amazon. And then there was an interesting post that came out. Some guy named, I think his name's Brian, recently. He talked about the usage of Rufus and showed a graph and all that. Now, there's quite a bit of comments in there. I comment on that, and he works at SimilarWeb, and essentially everyone's like, how do you track usage of Rufus? He did mention it in one of the comments of how, and it was very kind of like, a billion things across the internet. I don't know. But I was like, hey, like if you want to, like, I would love to like chat this out with you and see what this looks like, because this is a very big topic right now in the space. Because if SimilarWeb has the capability to actually do that, that's pretty big for proof, because everything people are talking about right now is Rufus is like, yeah, Rufus is great, but is it being implemented? They're moving placements, so probably it might be us as people who utilize Amazon Seller Central, we look at it and we use it because we're like, what is
Right.
this new
Or
shiny
let's
thing?
test it. Or I want content around
Yeah,
making Rufus. Or I want to
but
be the first person to market on what Rufus is doing and how smart I am.
yeah, so it's like the same thing. Like back in the day, and I should do this more. It's like just going on Amazon and doing searches for products and going on the search, the search pages, going on the other product detail pages, looking at it like a consumer, not like a consultant. And I think that's where we, as a group, some of us get jaded. We're like, oh my gosh, everyone's going to do this because it's so cool.
Yep.
But consumer aspect, like still, I guarantee you, 99% of the people don't even know where who that product is sold by. Everyone still thinks Amazon sells all the products on Amazon.com, and that's still the funniest thing ever. And yeah, I'm all done.
That's really don't be done. That's really funny that you even brought up, oh yeah, I bought this product from Amazon. People don't know that it's actually sold by a third party. I explain that to people all the time. That's the difference between an expert and a layperson. You wouldn't expect those people to know it. So we're looking at it from a biased viewpoint of this is what consumers do. But to your point, when's the last time you put yourself in the consumer shoes? I look at it, PDP, are ads showing up? Are we seeing things that they want? What does this PDP look like in comparison to other? What does the category leaders look like in comparison to our brand? That's why tools like PickFu are so great, because you can get consumer insight. I wonder if that's where Matt even did those studies, or where he found those studies from, because I think you can now do video recordings of. I might be making that up on PickFu, but you can do some really cool stuff. But you get real consumer research, and it's real time. That's one of the things that I believe is an advantage for us in e-commerce, in Amazon, when we work with big brands that have brand teams that do months and months and months of consumer research, which I think is necessary. And then we can do stuff within a day and say, well, here's actually what we turned out and here's what we're going to do. And then we can go test content and A/B experiment and say, well, which piece of content's better? Okay. Well, at least now we know quickly, and so we don't have to wait extra months for the brand team to change stuff around.
Yeah.
But my quick take on Rufus is it could be better adopted. I would have thought it was not well adopted. It could be better adopted, and I think it will be, because Amazon's going to lean into Gen AI search or agentic search. Google's done it a ton with Gemini, and by a ton, I mean, I think they've said 30% of searches have an AI overview. They don't ask people when to do the AI overview. They just do it. That's what Amazon's going to have to do if they want Rufus to be more integrated. I don't think people are going to show up and start adopting it just automatically. You have to force people into it. Just like Google became the predominant search provider, now people say, I'm going to Google it. Well, that took them, when building a tool, but when you show up to Google, you type in the search query box. If something changed and you're a Google user, you're going to change with Google because they have the most power. When I was at a tech conference recently, we were talking about AI overviews and is search dead? And my question is just, no, it's not. It's evolving. I think ads is always something that's going to come into the picture. When are people going to start trying to monetize these AI overviews? And I saw it that week with Rufus, which was interesting because I don't think Rufus is super well integrated. But you don't ask people, you just force it on them. Who's got the greatest user adoption or the greatest user, like customer base? Google, Amazon, etc. Companies like Superhuman or even ChatGPT. I know more Gen Z people are searching in ChatGPT, but whoever I think has the biggest customer base has the greater likelihood of using generative AI in search and to be more powerful. But long story short, I think the hype on Rufus is certainly about content. It's about being the smartest. I've helped optimize for Rufus. And if that is what if that's what you're staking your claim on and like being an expert on, I don't think you knew Amazon as well as you thought you did, because Amazon's already taken predictive search intent into consideration when people are searching. Rufus is, I think, a manifestation of that. And I think it was Matt Altman, when we talked with him at Prosper a couple years ago, he was mentioning the research articles because Amazon has a ton of patents. And in order for you to get a patent, you have to publish the research. Well, Amazon.science.
Yeah, they have a full bank of all their research.
Amazon.science is all their publishings on these kinds of things. Front page says scientific frontiers of agentic search. So if you were looking on here, you would have noticed that Amazon had already had something that was, one, they were identifying reviews to better understand intent and help predict what people were going to look for, and then using I'm not like super expert in some of the knowledge based stuff, but they had a paper on Cosmo, and the title is a large scale e-commerce common sense knowledge generation and serving system at Amazon, which was an LLM.
The gist of that was like, if you type in shoes for lower back pain, you'll get shoes that provide lower back pain that are comfy,
prevent
lower back pain or help with lower back pain, that are cushiony and whatnot.
That was 2018, by the way. That Cosmo paper, 2018. LLMs have been around. It was not ChatGPT that created them.
But when I started in this thing, it was all like, how do you optimize your page? You explain, it's marketing 101. You explain the outcome of your product, not just your product.
Yes.
You explain your product. You're like, hey, this is 2x4.
What's the end result?
But you could build a house with this 2x4.
Yes.
It's like, and I think that's the connection. It's like, look, this is marketing 101. It's just now Amazon's just saying, hey, like this is how people search, and you do that. It's like, but you have to showcase why it does that and how it does that. And if you're not doing that in the first place, then like you're not doing a good job marketing your product. That's simple.
And people focus on product features, and product features are not why people buy items. You think they are, and they look for specs of features. But to your point, it is the outcome. What is the outcome that I'm looking for? If you truly solve a problem, features are a component that get you to the end result, but the end result is what people want.
So in layman's terms, it's nothing new.
Correct.
Like, it's absolutely nothing new. It's
a manifestation of this already predictive search intent based on, or they're creating more predictive search intent based on the product intent or use because of the outcome that people are looking for, and of generative AI being more popular now. So they're wanting to get out in front and be visible in that sense. That's all I think it is. But it's fun to talk about, and it's sexy to talk about, and it's marketing, and nobody likes to talk about the catalog stuff or the setup of advertising or why that's important. It's the new hot thing. Optimize. And that stuff is true. Just like automation has been big. You don't need automation or bid management to be successful on Amazon. It can help and it can be a tool, but it's not a requirement. It's not a basic. And a basic component of being structured well and set up well on Amazon. But at scale, if you've got 1,000 products, you can't manage all those bids on your own. But if you've got 10, can you? Yeah, maybe you can.
Yeah. Well, and Amazon Ad Console is making that a lot easier now.
Yep.
It's crazy how much they've done, and they're basically doing keyword isolation now, where you can move products from one ad group to another and negate them in the source group. Like they're rolling stuff out, and I
Where
assume more of it's going to roll
where
out.
in the ad console, you mean like you can basically do bulk edits like people are able to do in softwares?
Yeah, in softwares, I mean, the Presses on was one of the biggest ones back in like 2018, where it's like keyword isolation. It's like how do you set up requirements for certain keywords to move them to focus on them, essentially. Um, it's one of the basic, I think, one of the basic strategies that helps with ROI. But basically in Amazon, you can do that. So if you have an auto campaign and you're like, hey, I want to search for keywords that had over 500 impressions, e-cost was below 50%
Yeah, I
and
got you.
had 2 orders, you can do that now. And then you could basically be like, I want to move these search terms over to this other ad group and negate them in the source group. So it's pretty remarkable how far they're coming. They're starting to run.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're honestly, I think, eliminating the need for some of these tools that are out
So
there, which is why you're seeing, I think, people, you see people that are trying to be ahead of it lean more into analytics
yeah.
and reporting, which Amazon does, but doing a better job of doing it instead of just focusing on the tool and combining those two things together.
My hypothesis, and this is what I'm seeing, is that a lot of these tools are going enterprise. So PackView, Helium 10, they're going to go more towards the enterprise level. And PackView has already shown why they're going to do that. I don't even know what their new rollout is, but it's like total e-commerce takeover ecosystem thing. But it's extremely enterprise level. So, and then you don't have too many tools because those tools are going to start kind of going by the wayside. I think for the
You think
everyday
so?
seller. Yeah, but there's some like Makeshift is very basic, but it's a great tool because it doesn't lean on things. Scale Insights, actually, I think it will continue to grow because they have the basic capabilities and not really easy to use, but you got to learn it. But like that's why I've been sharing more of the tools that I use myself, because people are going to start to need those, because it's like, why am I paying so much for this tool when I could do this myself? And I think we talked
I
about
think
this
people
last time.
know that they can do it themselves. So that's what I think.
They don't, but they will. I think we're getting to that point of the over reliance on software tools within the Amazon space.
Okay. There's a lot of them too.
Yeah. And some of them do good, some of them do not. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of crowding. There's a lot of agencies in the space too. A lot of people that are doing doing basic level stuff, but I really, as the channel becomes more complex, you're gonna need someone that really knows and understands it, and someone that started an agency even the past 4 years. They could have experience, but now they're also trying to build an agency on top of keeping, or in conjunction with keeping on top of Amazon. That's a really hard thing to do, and I know because I've done it. So now you're behind people building the process, making sure you get stuff at sale. You could be really smart, but getting that to translate across your organization is really hard. So there's a lot of clutter in that sense too, and that's why I think part of the reason why we're starting to see agency roll-ups happen. One, because people are tired and they want to get out, but also there are companies that see an opportunity to get in and to capitalize on that, like digital marketing, I don't know, a decade ago. So that's another just problem. There's just a lot of clutter.
Yeah. And Pattern's going to go public soon.
You think so?
No, I think they are.
Have they announced it?
Yeah, I've been seeing some stuff on the socials saying they're going to go public, I think next week.
Damn. Damn. Okay.
My hypothesis is they're going to be like a Pinterest when Pinterest went public. It's going to go really high, and then it's just going to drop down.
You know who that happened to that I was really disappointed to see, and I had to dump all my stock, was Solo Stove.
Oh, really?
I love Solo Stove. And yeah, so I bought in and it went from like 6 to like 1. And I just like, I didn't have a ton, but I'm like, this is not worth it. I've had way better investments do a lot better. All my crypto's done better than that. I think sometimes there's a desire to go public. Pattern, and people do it too soon. Pattern's been around for a while, so I think they've got a greater likelihood to probably be successful. But I think that's typically the trajectory goes up, comes down, and then you got to see what the long-term trajectory looks like. But anytime I buy something, I'm usually buying to hold for a while.
Yeah.
So, but that's what happened to Pharma Packs. They went public and then they went broke.
That's right. Forgot about that.
Yeah, I'm the bearer of great news. I've got all the good news. Well, we don't even, I don't think, need to get into Prime Day preparedness. If you're preparing at this point, you might as well just pack up and go home. You've already, I don't know if you've seen this, but I've seen Amazon have record slow times of checking in inventory. It's been, and I mean, for the past month, like it's been kind of insane.
And AWD storage issues.
Okay. AWD's having storage issues. That's news to me. Tell us about that.
It's just been happening for the past couple months where you try to send stuff into AWD. Doesn't work. Have to go normal. Not just myself, but others as well have been sharing that it's probably just a Q4 thing. So most likely mid Q4, they'll probably be back getting AWD, I suspect. But yeah.
What else do you think is on the horizon?
I don't know. I haven't been seeing too much cool updates on from Accelerate. I did see someone talk about Seller Assistant, which I posted on LinkedIn last week that I saw.
That's something they announced last year, though.
Oh, was it?
Well, they announced it was called, what was it? It was just on the Amazon Science site. Hold on.
This is the one that I saw on the account health. So any issues on the account health,
okay.
The AI would actually tell you why.
Amazon
having to figure it out.
Oh, that's Amazon Aurora. That's different.
If anyone's watching this too, if you see my stuff in the LinkedIn feed, let me know because pretty sure I'm shadow banned.
Yeah, get Brett out of prison. Come on,
LinkedIn. I don't know what's going on, but trying to figure out what's happening.
Yeah, well,
I even tried to post I got in a surfing competition, and this is how it correlated to business life, and it just tanked. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Maybe you just peaked, man. Maybe you just peaked and you're done.
Peaked, I'm done.
The Amazon Seller Assistant, they mentioned something at last Accelerate. Maybe they just announced something new or updated. Well, I think we've covered a good amount. Rufus, nothing new. Manifestation of something that's been around. People are hyping it up. Amazon's slow on inventory. New AI stuff that's coming out to help people internally. We look at stuff differently because we're consultants. What'd I miss?
That's about it.
All right. That's about it, people. You've got work to do. So you've had enough time off the last 30 minutes. Why don't you go do something? Go do some work already. Are you kidding me? And until next time, we'll have October, November, and then December will be our 3-year anniversary party. And we're planning something huge.
Wow. Snowboarding trip in Bend. How about that?
Okay. I don't know how to snowboard, but okay. I mean, I take that back. I've snowboarded on a Kmart snowboard in a small municipal park.
There you go.
So I'm a pro. just like every other ad agency out there on Amazon. Hey, we've done a couple ads before. We're pros.
Yep.
Boom! Shots fired, people. I'm just kidding. I don't care. Do your best, people. You'll be fine.
Oh whoa.
That's my PSA. Just do your best. You'll be fine.
Yep.
We're out. See everybody.